Hi, my name's Tina, and I'm here to give you the inside scoop on my own transformation back to healthy. I want to start by giving you just a little bit of a background on me. I am a mom of 7 kids. About 7 years ago, I realized that I had to make a change in my life, and it had everything to do with being healthy and happy. Because at that time, I was neither, unfortunately. I was almost 300 pounds after I had my youngest daughter. Her name is Bella, and she has been one of the key cornerstone inspiration pieces to my own transformation. Creating a transformation toolbox is something that I started 7 years ago when I realized that I didn't have to continue just surviving my everyday, and I didn't have to continue being trapped in a body that truly was not fulfilling me in any way, shape, or form. It took me a lot of time to really realize that it wasn't the weight that I needed to lose. It was the perspective on my life and reconnecting with who I am as a woman that actually made all of that come to fruition. Long story short, I started doing exercise programs at home because I was filled with anxiety, had panic attacks when I came out of the house. I had postpartum depression for the third time, and I needed to start from where I was. Dealing with the fears and the anxiety of going to a gym was not something I was willing to do, on top of now raising 7 kids and trying to figure out how to live myself. And so I turned to at-home exercise options as the best fit for me, and it was the greatest choice I've ever made in my entire life. I reconnected with myself. I reconnected with recess. I started to truly enjoy taking care of my mind, my body, and my spirit. So what I'm going to share with you guys today is something I call the transformation toolbox. We all go through this life and we have this amazing little toolbox, but we don't always have it filled with supportive or serving tools to our life. Part of the adventure, part of the journey of life, all of our experiences, is learning which tools belong in our box and which tools do not belong in our box. They may belong in someone else's, but being able to identify what is going to serve you in your life is what is going to make the change in your life, whether it's a physical transformation, an emotional one, a career one, a marriage one, relationship. The ability for you to truly reconnect with who you are is where your power point or your pivot point is in this transformation. So what I want to do is go over just really super simple steps that you can take along the way to completely impact your life on an everyday, immediate basis. So I've got some notes splayed out in front of me. I want to make sure that I hit everything because of how important it is. And I want to start by saying thank you so very much for taking the time to be on here. So tool number 1 in your toolkit is exercise. Now, I know that doesn't sound fun right off the bat, but if you think about what it was like when we were little, when we played dodgeball and Dr. Soldier and the bell rang and we ran out of the classroom onto the playground, we didn't think about squats and lunges and using your core and making sure you get enough reps. We just went and played. That's what being healthy every day is actually supposed to be about. It's about reconnecting you with that recess mentality where you find the fun in your fitness. What I've been able to do through the different workouts that I've done at home, I've tried all of these different exercise programs and I have found which ones do work for me emotionally as well as physically. I'm not someone that likes to dance. I have 3 left feet, and it doesn't matter how good the directions are, I'm still stepping on my own toes. So that's not a direction of exercise that I normally would turn to. But I do love to lift, and that was something I didn't even know about myself until I started to kind of look at all of the different options that were actually in front of me. That tool in your toolbox, you need to be able to pull it out wherever you are. But before you can use that tool, you have to learn a little bit about yourself. So, one of the tasks that you can do right now, take a piece of paper if you don't already have a journal popped out for notes, and start to jot down, how do you actually like to move your body? Do you like to dance? Do you like to sing? Do you like to lift? Do you like movement that is very structured and repetitious? What are the types of things that make your body actually feel good? Some people love to walk, some people love to run. I personally don't really want to run unless there's a cupcake in front of me or there's a bear chasing me. So my choice of exercise tends to lean toward lifting and high interval intensity training, cardio style workouts. So I'm in and I'm out. But being able to take that out of my toolbox every day is just one piece of that puzzle, because the exercise is a component, but it's not the end all be all to the weight loss. I've lost over 100 pounds, but it wasn't just because I exercised. So that leads me to our second tool in that kit, which is your nutrition. I can tell you from experience, because I'm a very hard-headed young woman. And it doesn't matter how hard that wall is, sometimes I just had to keep hitting the wall before things would make sense to me. So what I mean by that, when I started this journey, I did just the exercise. And I believed that that was going to be enough. If I changed the way I moved my body, then naturally my body would change the way it looked, the way it felt, and the weight would come off. What I didn't realize is I was undoing all of my hard work in the exercise realm of life in the kitchen. So it's important to keep it simple. You want to kiss your foods. Keep it super simple in your kitchen. That's what KISS means. Being able to find and follow a well-balanced nutrition system, not the extreme diets, not the deprivation diets. I absolutely will not do those, because I also have experience with that as well. I am someone who pretty much from the time I was 8 years old was struggling with my weight, and because of that struggle and the lack of communication growing up and the misunderstandings of what it really meant to take care of my body with food as fuel, I binge ate, and I turned to trying to figure out all kinds of different ways to overcompensate for that binging, emotional eating behavior. What I have found today is that the more balanced I make my foods, when I go at it purposefully and I enjoy my proteins and I enjoy my carbohydrates and I love my healthy fats, all of those different food categories make a very balanced body and mind, and they play a role in how your body physically responds to the exercise. Keeping it colorful is another tip that you can use with your nutrition tool in your toolbox. When you go to the restaurants, look at your plate and see if you are having a rainbow serving of food, or are all of the foods on your plate just one single color. If that's the case, then it's most likely not going to be of the highest nutritional value for your body. The other piece to the nutrition is make it enjoyable for yourself. Take the time to find some recipes that you've never tried before, or ask your friends and family. Take a moment to see what kind of foods you really do enjoy and find out if there's a different way to prepare it, a different way to cook it and plate it that might actually be more beneficial to the exercise program that you're choosing to do. Now, the third piece to this one is the cornerstone, because you can have your exercise, which I was able to find over the years did make a change in my body, my mind, and my spirit. And you can have your nutrition component, that nutrition tool, which also made a huge difference in my body, my mind, and my spirit. But if you don't have the mindset tool in place, the other two will never ever be in balance. And that is the piece of this that I bring to the table when I work with my clients and my challengers. Whether I'm in the studio with them, or I'm on a Skype call with them one-on-one, or I'm in person, we're always seeking out that balanced mindset that allows what they're doing with their exercise and what they're doing with their nutrition to copacetically exist and give them the best results, to give them a preparation towards success. When it comes to your mindset, the things that you want to step back and start looking at and asking yourself just simple questions like, how do I actually talk to myself on a given day? A lot of things that we hear ourselves say that we don't actually say out loud can tend to be a negative dialogue. I call it circle jerking in our head. And what I have found over the years for myself as well as my clients is that if we have a negative attitude within our mind towards ourselves, that's going to make or break the transformation. In the very beginning for me, I had a lot of walls to work through because of being as heavy as I was. I physically felt ashamed when I moved my body. Being ashamed of how I moved my body affected how I felt about myself and how I treated myself and how I allowed other people to treat me. My husband and I have been married for 14 years, and he's my absolute best friend in the entire world. But even that didn't stand a chance up against the attitude and the beliefs that I held within my own self about how not valuable I actually was in the beginning. That transformation, it was the mindset piece that brought all of the effort that I was putting out there into the world with the nutrition and the exercise. That's what brought it home for me. When I finally saw that by consistently moving my body and enjoying the foods that I ate, I could make a momentum change in my life with my mind. I continued to move forward with that. I continued to educate myself with that, and it led me to go on to a personal training certification. And what I'm able to do now is help women, men, and children, I work with kids too, to be able to empower themselves with these tools. I sit down with you and I show you what each tool in your toolbox is going to bring to your life. Sometimes you already have the exercise tool in there, so we only have to adjust or tweak your nutrition and your mindset. Sometimes the opposite is true and you have the nutrition component down. You understand that we're supposed to eat to fuel our body, not to fill it up. And your mindset's in the right place, but you might not have any clue as to what to do with an exercise program. So what I would like to offer you out there, there's going to be a PowerPoint, I believe, that's going to be posted up, and within that you have the option to click on a free program to start with. And that gives you these 3 tool sets. It gives you the nutrition, it gives you an exercise program to start with, and it's going to give you the mindset coaching that I offer to you as well. One of the things that I truly believe has been the most inspirational piece to my transformation was learning that it starts within me. That the whole time I had all of these tools, I just wasn't really sure of how to use them. That I was valuable, I just didn't know how to show it. And I was capable, and I just wasn't confident enough to live that way. When you take on a fit-minded life, when you choose to live every day on purpose, that leads you towards a healthier every single day. Identifying the pieces, the bridging of the gap between who you are, and where you're starting from, and where you want to go, what goals you have in front of you. Those tools will bridge that gap for you so that you're able to more readily walk across the bridge every single day and reconnect with who you are, reestablish how important you are in your own life. And by doing that, you will be absolutely amazed at how it affects the people closest, most loved, and dearest to you throughout your entire life. One of the things I want to leave you with today, I hope that you're able to use these tools and implement them immediately. But I also hope that you take the time for yourself to reflect on how absolutely important you are to your own health. You are the powerful strength and point of change in your life. A lot of us don't have a support system at home. A lot of us want to make a change, but the people in our lives are sitting on the couch next to us, not moving, and they don't choose to stand up with us when we make that choice. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It doesn't mean that it's impossible. And it absolutely does mean that you can be the choice and chance of change in your life, as well as the people closest to you. When I chose to do that for myself, I didn't only change my life, I changed all 7 children's lives. I also changed my husband's life. This has been a transformation and a journey, an adventure of massive weight loss, but also of massive emotional, transformational change that has empowered every single family member that I love dearest, and every single friend and client that I have had the opportunity and honor to work with over the last 7 years. You have the chance and opportunity. You also have the responsibility to take care of and live your best life from here right now. So if you have that piece of paper out and you're ready to do it, if you're ready to make just a small change in your life at this moment, take that piece of paper and break it up into 2 columns. On one side, I want you to list out all of the things that you love about your best friend. Maybe that's your spouse, maybe that's your mom, maybe that's your best friend. The person that means the most to you in this life. Take one whole solid piece of paper on the half and list out all of the things that make them amazing to you. On the other half of that piece of paper, I want you to do the same exact thing for yourself. Write down a list of all of the things about you that make you amazing, that make you incredible, that people look at you and turn to you for throughout their lives because they know who you are. After you've done that, after you've made both of those lists, and I really want you to take time with it, don't just kind of scribble it out there. Think about that best friend and why they're meaningful to you. All of their characteristics, all of their attributes, all of their value systems. Do the same thing for yourself, and at the end of it, on another sheet of paper, see which ones match up. If you have an entire list of attributes and characteristics of your most important person, and those aren't on your side, that right there is where you need to start. That is the bridge that you need, or the gap that you need to bridge. And you can do that by living a fit-minded life. You can do that by choosing to eat, move, and believe more every single day. Keeping it simple, allowing yourself to prepare to succeed every single day. And you can find healthy, you can keep healthy, and you can remember that it doesn't have an expiration date. This is an amazing journey, an adventure that we are on. I call my workout space my playground because that's exactly what it is, and that's what I offer up to you guys. And I hope you can take the time to find that playground and find all of your tools, bring out your toolbox, unload them, and choose to live more of your life every single day. Until next time, I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. I hope you're enjoying our marathon, and I will talk to you soon.